Do you remember where you were on January 28th, 1986? The day that the Challenger space shuttle lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center, broke and blew up just a minute after takeoff. It broke my heart. I think it did yours as well. If you're 38 years old or older, you probably remember exactly where you were at the time. It was a sad day in America. Well, I was talking to my son about this, and I told him about Krista McCullough, the teacher. There were thousands of teachers that applied, and she was the one that was chosen. And when that terrible disaster happened, everybody was in tears. The children, the parents, teachers across the nation. So talking to him about that, he asked me, he said, "Dad, what did they do with the pieces?" And I said, "Well, I think they have them in 2 missile silos at the Kennedy Space Center." And he says, "Geez, maybe we could write the president a letter and ask him to talk to NASA and see if they couldn't take those pieces, put them in the water and create a living reef that we might be able to go visit whenever we want to." And I thought, gosh, that's a great idea. So I got on the computer, I did my research, and I found out, I asked first, did they ever do this before? And they have. They've done it about 10 times before. One was called the Titan Experimental Reef, and that's about 100 miles offshore in 100 feet of water. Certainly, no, we're not going to go see that one. But if they did it once, why couldn't they do it with the Challenger, with the pieces of the Challenger space shuttle? Who will benefit if we get this petition signed? First of all, you can imagine there are 5 million students just in the state of Florida, and another 65 million across the country. If we could get 1 million signatures or more, and when I did a survey and asked, well, if they built the reef, would you come and visit it? Everybody said probably more than once, just because this is a beautiful living reef with the millions of sea creatures and everything that is constantly changing. So now when the kids in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin say, the dad says, "Hey, we're going to Florida for vacation," the kids won't just say, "Gosh, let's go see Mickey Mouse and Harry Potter." They're going to say, "Let's go see the Challenger Reef." And they will. And if we had millions of people going to see the Challenger Reef at the Kennedy Space Center, imagine the money that NASA would make from this. Over the decades, it could be $1 billion. So this is something that's quite wonderful. And not to mention that it would also, if there was even 1 million or 2 million new visitors every year going to the Kennedy Space Center, it could create as many as 100,000 new jobs. Now this is incredible for Titusville and Central Florida to create that many jobs and create that tax revenue, which might even be designated for schools that are suffering all across the country. So we're asking everyone's help. If you are a social networker, that's wonderful, because I'm a little too old and not very good at it. So if you've got a Facebook or a Twitter or a YouTube account and you've got followers, please send it out to them and ask them to go to our website, www.challengerreef.com, sign our petition, and send it off and ask a friend to do the same. This would be really wonderful if we could get this done, and it would benefit so many people and certainly make our children so proud. Imagine for a minute that if we got this built, it would be on every map printed from this time forward. And instead of just seeing Kennedy Space Center and Titusville, it's going to say the Challenger Reef, that every person will see on that map from now until the end of time. This is pretty impressive. Even when our kids grow up and they have children, they're going to be pointing at that map and saying, "You see where it says Challenger Reef? Your mama and papa were responsible for making that happen." So please help us make this come to fruition, and it'll be wonderful for everyone. Children will be proud, and certainly I think that our fallen heroes, Krista McCullough and the astronauts that perished that day, are looking down right now with smiles on their face saying, this is the way we want to be remembered, not in some missile silo over at the Kennedy Space Center. So we thank you very much for your support, and please take a look at our website, sign a petition, and let's carry on. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.